Hello. I'm going to do a video of uh, what was it? Describing an event I can remember from at least 5 years ago with another person that I am still in contact with. Now, in the time of this recording, this memory is going to come from just over 6 years ago. Let's say May, June. This memory will be around June 2010. It is now August 8th, 2016. And this is going to be kind of like the first experience I've had while meeting my longest and best friend in China, and his name is Marcus. Currently, he doesn't know what the questions are that I will ask him in the video that I will be taking later on tonight. And I've kept it quite secret in that sense to get the most authentic, recallable memories of our first time meeting each other. And as far as I can remember, it kind of went like this. We had a similar friend. His name was Sean, a very large American fellow. He's about my height. I'm 6'3". But he was a much heavier built man, probably closer to 300 pounds. He invited me to a local bar where he said a lot of other foreigners would go because I was very new to China. I had no previous training in Chinese, and I was very, let's say, culturally shocked at what I just got myself into, because I literally kind of jumped into the whole situation. But anyways, leading up to the event, me and Sean walked up to the tables that were located in a formerly known bar of the name called Jack Bar. Now, this bar was down an alleyway, there is another bar there, but it's under a different name. So it's long since left. Actually, it was closed down in 2010, just after the World Cup, which is also the same time that I met Marcus. We were starting to watch the World Cup in 2010. We knew Marcus knew the owners of the bar. We ended up working out a deal to watch the events for as long as we were there. Some of the first things that I can remember that were said was Sean introducing me to a couple other foreigners. There was another friend of mine from America. Phil was there. Marcus is from Newcastle in the UK. And I think there was a couple other people there, but I can't really be for sure. This bar was a very, very small bar. We were sitting at a lot of small picnic tables, not as maybe half the size of a regular, no, maybe 2/3 the size of a regular picnic table that you would maybe see in Western culture. Much more broader and stronger design in Western culture. So we sat there, and pretty much I think the conversation, if I actually remember it correctly, because it was a pretty good conversation that we had. So Sean introduced us, and Marcus says hello, and Phil said hello, and the first words were out of my mouth were, "Hey, what's up? Where do we find some beer?" I say this because I really didn't know what beer to drink in China, and I was looking for a decent beer, because most of the beer in China is around 2.5 at most for a bottle of beer in the volume percentage. And I think from there, me and Marcus just pretty much hit it off. We bought each other a few beers and continued our conversation. But later in the night, it got a little bit hazy, and it's a little bit more difficult to remember, because in my first month in China, it was pretty much a party every day. The local Jack Bar is the bar that we would go to pretty much every day, and we would have pretty much run of the entire place, because we would draw in a lot of business for the owner, because it was in China. It is a normal thing. If you're a foreigner, you attract business. So anyways, in a... Oh, I don't have a watch. Wait, no, I do. Say in about a few hours from now, I'm going to sit down with Marcus and, I'll have him... We'll show the correspondence that we had on WeChat, which I can show right here of me asking him. This is the conversation I had today at 2:14 p.m. And you can see, because this is the date. Last time I talked to him was at 2:14 a.m. But today I'm talking to him at 2:14 p.m. And I asked him, what time will you arrive at Fusion tonight? Fusion is the bar that he is semi-part owner of. He said, not sure why. And I said, I have a few a few questions about a psychological evaluation between us. He says, I see. And then I told him I'm trying to make the questions a surprise for authenticated answers. Video interview with both of us. And I told him in the end, I said, once you see the questions, it won't take but 10 minutes maximum. And I'll have him show you these exact WeChat messages. This is the most commonly used social media in China today. It's one of the easiest ones. It's pretty much the Facebook of China. And from there, I'll see you later. All right. So I've not shown you these questions.
No. This is my first time there.
It's your first time. Okay, and I have to say, no swearing, please.
Okay, no problem.
All right. So, in the questions that we have here, right? I need you to describe everything you can remember in an event in the last 5 years that we've had. Now, I went with the first time that we met.
Okay.
Do you remember the first time that we met?
I do remember the first time we met.
Okay, I want you to remember everything that you can remember about the first time that we met in the same event, because I've already pre-recorded this event. So.
Okay, no problem. Shall I begin?
Yep.
Okay. I remember I was sitting outside in a beer garden with some of my friends. And there wasn't that many foreigners in Xuzhou at the time, so we were always on the lookout for more foreigners. And we saw this big white guy passing by our table, and we called him over to the table, and it turned out to be Daryl. And we had a drink with him, and we went to the nightclub. Maybe we did.
I can't remember after the first time we met.
Yeah, we might have gone to a nightclub. I believe we might have been to a nightclub, and yeah, that's how I came to know Daryl.
Do you remember who I was with?
Do I remember who you were with? Were you not by yourself? I thought you were by yourself.
Nope.
Oh, no. I can't remember. That was a long time ago. I was probably a little drunk when I first met you. Yeah, so my recall of the event is pretty.
What was the name of the bar?
Beer Garden. Oh, the bar we went to?
I've been here for 6 months.
What's the one that we went when we were the main place we went to?
Oh, Britain Bar.
No.
No. Oh, Match Bar. No.
We met Lily.
I can't remember. Lily. Who was Lily?
Your first.
Oh. Yes. I can't remember. What do we call that place?
Jack Bar.
Oh, Jack Bar. That's it. Yes.
Jesus.
Jack Bar. It's been a while though.
Well, I mean, it's over 6 years, right?
Yeah.
So. And they said at least 5 years, so I figured that would have been the basic one. So, in what I said, right? Because now we have to the similarities and discrepancies exist in the two accounts, and how do you explain them? I said I rocked up to Jack Bar with Sean, and we basically said our hellos, and then what? I basically said that when we went there, we said our hellos, and then like the first words out of my mouth was like, "Where's the beer?" And and that's pretty much how we met. All right, the differences in that was that what I said in detail was that I rocked up with Sean. We met at Jack Bar. It was during what time?
World Cup.
World Cup. Perfect.
I remember they had the big projector out there.
They did have the big projector out there. So, differences that you said we met at.
I thought we met there.
You thought, but it's literally like what, like 50 feet away.
Yeah.
And there's like three bars in between there, so we basically not really that big of a difference. We as soon as we know where like the foreigners are, that's pretty much where we go. Because that's like when we were. You were here 6 months. I was here for about a month or that, right? And then there was just like that's just where we hung out, right? How do we explain the similarities and discrepancies existing in the two accounts?
Well, I would say maybe because did you meet any foreigners before Sean?
No.
So maybe because I knew more foreigners than you, it was more memorable for you meeting us because
there are more foreigners there. Do you remember who was with us?
Bilal.
Bilal I didn't mention, but there was one guy I mentioned.
I was with Bilal and the Salman.
But there was also Phil.
Oh shit. Phil. Yeah. I
didn't remember Salman.
Yeah, but I was Salman.
Bilal, but
I came out with them.
All right. So that basically handles question number 2. Now, question number 3 is discuss these differences with the other person and see if either your changes your mind
about what the story.
About the story of like who we actually met in that kind of time. I don't remember. Like I literally admitted on this video that like after we started on that night, it was World Cup, and it was really more focused on the World Cup, right? And we were just drinking so much.
Yeah, we were.
Like my first month was just an absolute shit show here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that basically covers it.
Well, there you go, Darryl. It was a pleasure helping you.
Thank you very much.